You're watching Oilers Nation Everyday with Tyler Yaremchuk. Your one-stop shop for all things Oilers.
Some of the greatest rivalries in the sport. Oilers, Flames, Leafs, Habs, Liam versus coffee, Tyler versus pizza cutters. Let's get into it with the lead. I didn't tell you what that one was. I really hit you.
That was good. I have been fighting my addiction against coffee recently.
Okay, let's get into it. It's the lead live from the Sports Closet studio. Check them out online, sportscloset.ca. We're going to do like a mini Sherwood Ford Giant Game Day edition of the show today. Jay still isn't back in Canada, or is he? I don't know. International man of mystery. But we're going to do a game preview because it's a big one tomorrow. We're going to talk about a bunch of different things from around the NHL. Liam's going to finish up his breakfast. What is that?
So a little shamrock cookie.
From the bakery downstairs.
Come on by.
Yeah, come on. Bread and butter. It's fantastic down in the Riverdale area. And of course, literally right below us.
Literally.
Yeah.
So close that sometimes when you go downstairs, you can hear conversations through the walls.
When Liam goes down to order, we hear him ordering through the vents, which is spooky because that means they hear our show.
I can hear like every word when there's someone ordering because it's directly below me.
All right, let's get into what's going on in the YouTube chat. Hope Tyler remembered his power tools today and Liam buys an extra pillow. I did forget my power tools again. Actually, you know what? I'll be honest. I was walking out my front door and I was like, the door, I already locked the door, closed it, locked it. And I was like, I could get the power tools and take down the clock today. And I was like, damn, I'm already out the door.
I kind of like the clock. It's growing on me.
We had a good idea actually for pre-gaming with Boardsy is we could start the clock as a 1 hour countdown of the show and it could run. That's not a terrible idea.
Guys, we don't have the remote.
Yeah, we lost the remote. So
I'll bring it home with me.
Yeah. Well, it's meaningless without the remote. If we don't have the remote,
it's tough.
It is tough. Let's keep going through. Oh, yeah, Sherwood Ford Giant question. I saw Christopher Palmer put in his take on it. We're going to need your help picking our playoff slogan for next year or for this upcoming playoff run. So we'll do that in a little bit for our friends at Sherwood Ford the Giant. But first, let's talk about the lead. Liam versus coffee. Take us through this.
Okay. So I'm having a bit of a battle recently. I love coffee. I usually have about 3 or 4 a day. But I'm finding that when I get off my coffee high towards the end of the day, my caffeine high, I guess one might call it, my big mood swings. Generally, who is calling me?
Start of every show, someone's calling you. Block that number.
Unbelievable. So I decided to cut it off, but I ran into a bit of an obstacle where I went from 4 coffees just immediately to 0.
Yeah.
So my energy levels have just been off the rocker. So I dove into 1 today to just get 1 done. So I got to ease myself off it.
So I think part of the reason you might be grumpy at the end of the day, because you've been a coffee drinker, what, your whole adult life?
Since I was 10.
No.
Only like 4 years.
Okay, so not since you were like 18.
Not like a long time.
I think part of your mood is because of the job as of late and has nothing to do with coffee.
I think it could be both. The job has been exhausting recently. Finding, I don't know. So that moment.
So you tried to quit coffee and you're realizing you can't.
No, I'm realizing I'm quitting too drastically.
So you're going to try to cut it down to just like 1 a day?
1 a day. And I think I might always be on this show.
I have 2 a day. I'll call 2 a day, like 2 mugs in the morning when I'm doing DFO live. And then once when I'm getting set for DFO live. And I will only ever have like an afternoon coffee if I actually have something to do in the evening. I
will not drink caffeine after 2 o'clock.
Oh, see, like if it's an Oilers game day, like tomorrow against Colorado, I'll have a coffee at 4 o'clock.
Makes sense.
Like when I get home, or like when the Oilers played the Caps, I got home at 4 o'clock and I was like, okay, it's a late night. Our feet almost touched, but we avoided it right at the last second. Whoop, careful. I'll go home if the Oilers play, or if I have a beer league game at like 10, I'll go home at 4 o'clock and be like, coffee.
But I like to go to bed at like 11.
Yeah, so like if I'm not working or if I have nothing to do, I won't, because I'm in bed at 9:30 on the nights I got nothing going on.
But if I have anything, I swear to God, if I have any kind of caffeine after 2, I'm up all night.
See, yeah, I'm not like that.
Like a child.
I could have my coffee at noon. I could get home from work at 4 and be like, oh, time for a nap. Or I can just have another cup of coffee, power through. But all right, let's get into, we got some takes here on the Charm Diamond YouTube chat.
My coffee addiction.
Well,
people don't seem to not to believe me.
Tyler Yaremchuk says countdown clock must stay up until the Oilers win the cup or get eliminated.
No.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I'm torn on that. Off-season content has begun in season. Well, they played once this week, so there's that.
Yeah.
Dave, just curious, are you guys wearing shoes? Yes, we all wear shoes in the
Nike
office.
squad.
Are you Nike, Aaron?
Nikes?
Yep.
Oh,
Air Force Ones.
No, I'm Under Armour.
Oh, son of a gun.
I'm Under Armour today. Mulak. Yep. Liam, you should try. I don't know what that is, so I'm just not going to read it.
Vietnamese style coffee. I've heard about this.
Oh, really?
I have. I think I'm gonna start drinking tea. I think the routine is get up in the morning, make a hot drink.
I think that could have an interesting kind of like placebo effect on you too.
Yeah, I think so too.
Just a hot drink perk. Yeah, back to your roots too. Back to your culture with the tea. That's not terrible
you
either.
Would not believe, like, people talk about, oh, English people only drink tea. That is the most accurate stereotype in the world. It is unbelievable. My granddad, when we went there, every single drink he has is a cup of tea. Whenever you go to someone's house, oh, you want a cup of tea? It's amazing. It's truly incredible stuff going on.
Tea and crumpets?
No crumpets. No crumpets. Not that crazy.
Oilers Nation versus 8 grands. Did anyone get their money? I've been checking my bank account all day. Dave just had pizza cutter ? And Sergeant Battle said, Tyler cuts pizza like a totally sane, non-psychotic human. Okay, so here's the backstory. If you don't follow me on Instagram, you should, at Ty89Yard. You can also just search my name. I'm sure it'll come up. But last night, my girlfriend and I, we were lazy, didn't want to actually cook dinner, and we had a frozen pizza in the freezer. So I was like, yeah, let's just throw the frozen pizza and we'll eat a cheese pizza and we'll be good. And I was cutting it, and I kind of messed up one of the cuts. And she was like, you're an idiot. And I was like, oh, sweetie, you think I'm an idiot? Watch this. And then I just intentionally started cutting it like a moron would.
And you accomplished exactly what you wanted.
Accomplished exactly what I wanted to. So this was the result of it.
Jesus.
And Amber was incredibly pissed off with me. But I was like, you know what? This would be hilarious because it's so obviously a frozen pizza and so obviously cut terribly. Like even the first cut through the middle was so off-centered that I just decided I'm going to put this up on Instagram with the caption pizza night and just get the people riled up. Do
you know the second worst part about this, which is getting overshadowed? There's only 7 slices. It's not even
1, 2, 3,
perfectly
4,
even
6.
cut.
No, there's 8.
Is it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Oh, sorry. Yeah, the last 2 kind of mirror them. Sorry, I thought that was one big one at the top.
That actually, I like that idea now too. Yeah, there's 7. That's a big one at the top.
Wow.
But the 2 squared ones, like, again, it's hilarious. It actually, in a way, kind of worked out because my girlfriend loves the crust. I'm not a crust guy.
You'll never get hairs on your chest if you don't eat your crust.
I'm okay with
Another
that.
least surprising thing I've
I
ever
know.
heard you
I just honestly, when we eat pizza, I just give them to Amber and she eats them like a pelican. Just knocks them down. Anyway, some of the responses were great. This is probably the worst slice job I've ever seen. Cam in a pizzeria, our boy who comes on the nation vacations, and he runs a pizza shop out in Leduc. He came, he said, yeah, he was the one who chimed in and said, this is giving me severe anxiety. Tyler Yaremchuk DM'd me and said, WTF for the cuts in that pizza. Never put some shit like that on my feed ever again. My pal Evan said, perfectly cut pizza and beautiful toes. Thank you, Aaron, for trimming out my toes.
They're right there.
Damn
I
it.
brought a second.
He asked me if I'm looking for a partner. But my favorite was as the night went on, people who were responding to the first one before getting to the point where I said like it was just a troll job. So they'd message me once and be like, you're an idiot. Why did you cut your pizza like that? And then like 3 seconds later, I'd get another DM being like, ah, shit, you got me. So it was great. Tyler Yaremchuk doesn't even like it on the screen. This is a bit going forward. I'm going to just presentation of my food will make no sense on Insta.
So I saw what you did.
Yeah.
I saw the story and I was so visibly upset of what I had just seen that I didn't click any further on the story. So it wasn't.
You just saw it and swiped away. You're like, that's enough.
I was like, I'm good. Like, I do not need to see any more of this. So I swiped off it, and then later on, I ended up seeing all the messages, and I thought that was very funny that you got so many responses. What a night!
It was a good night. Mulek said, "Just be better, like you're an adult." Exactly. I'm an adult. I buy my own pizza, cook them in my own oven with my own pizza cutter. I can do whatever the hell I want. Next time, I'm going to cut it in a spiral. and then you can just slurp it up like one long piece of spaghetti.
Psycho.
I will say
Never ever invite me over for dinner because I will
Speaking
not
of
come.
spaghetti,
Oh yeah, speaking of spaghetti, so our pal David Quadrelli, diehard Italian person.
Die hard.
he's really into being Italian.
He's committed to the bit.
Yeah, he's committed to the bit of his heritage being Italian, and he gets really mad at some of my food takes and meetings that we have.
Rightfully so. They're
So
horrible.
he DM'd me with the picture of the pizza and was like, "You mama'd your last Mia, pal," and then with the little gun emoji. And I sent him what Johnny Lazarus, who has been on this show before, I sent him what Johnny Lazarus posted on Twitter the other day. And this is 1,000,000 times more criminal than any type of cut I could put on a pizza. Johnny Lazarus, spaghetti with butter and ketchup. Absolutely terrible. But then you kind of look closer, and I don't know if that's butter or if that's feta cheese or if it's cottage cheese or if he just didn't melt the butter and just threw clumps of butter on it. Now I'm getting too distracted by the butter. Pasta with ketchup is a criminal thing to do. And I understand people will be like, it's just kind of like a sweet tomato sauce. No, it's not like a sweet tomato sauce. It's what you'd eat if there was some sort of
an apocalypse
and you were like the only person in Edmonton and you're on month 19. Like anything before month 19, this is still unacceptable. But it's at the point where like you're just gutting through some probably expired ketchup and you keep finding dry pasta in grocery stores. So you're cooking that. That's the only excuse for this.
I like what James Shaw said. This is something you eat in prison.
Yeah. Evan, kindergartner food. Yeah. You know what? Another layer. It's month 19 of the apocalypse and you're 7. Like that's the only way that makes any sense. And this is from a guy, I will have tomato soup and put pasta in it.
Which I don't think is as weird as people give you shit for.
No, not at all.
That's fine.
It's a regular soup to have. But yeah, this is quite frankly disgusting.
This is asylum. The fact that is, if he put that it's butter, those are cold chunks of butter mixed with ketchup.
Okay, how about this? Reagan, and I guess Mulek put it in first. Mac and cheese. So like
Agreed.
craft dinner with
Agreed.
your ketchup. Totally different
Totally
ballgame.
different because it's a child's dish.
Yeah, you're playing into the bit a little. I don't hate that. But also, that is the ketchup is the complementary piece there, right? The mac and cheese is still the dominating flavor. This is just plain noodle with ketchup.
See, I'm no chef by any means. Quite frankly, I'm a terrible cook.
Me too. I'm
honest.
never pretending to be a good cook.
But you know one thing I can do? Put pasta sauce on a pasta dish.
It's just
Literally
so
just
easy.
get tomato sauce and put it on.
When you go to the grocery store, there's the ketchup, and then like one aisle over or a couple shelves over, you can just every time you go to the or every 3 times you go to the grocery store,
Pick up a few.
take advantage. It doesn't really go bad.
Unless you open it.
It can stay in the cupboard. It's
Unless you
vacuum
open
sealed.
it, put it in your fridge.
This is just an insane thing to do.
It is. Okay, I want to talk about Dune, but we've spoke about nothing for 15 minutes. So let's talk about the Oilers. And at the end, I want to talk about my experience at the IMAX theater last night.
Englishman admits he's not a good cook. More at 11. Comment of the day.
Yeah.
What did I made a great salad yesterday.
Tell me more.
So I like not a good cook, like I said. So I got a bag salad, buffalo ranch salad is what it was.
Ooh, that's a good
So
salad.
really good. So
What grocery store were you at? Save-On?
Safeway.
Safeway. Okay.
So being the big brain thinker I am, I go over to the pre-cooked chicken aisle.
Oh, let's go. I like where this is going.
Grab me some pre-cooked chicken with my buffalo ranch salad. Go home. All of a sudden, I got a buffalo chicken ranch salad.
All of a sudden, you get yourself a stew going.
We were cooking up last night. And
That's a good call.
It was good. I brought
Adding
it today.
chicken to a salad takes it from like a light lunch to like it can be a hearty meal.
Yeah,
Maybe some garlic bread on the side. That's always a good call.
That's not good.
That line went so under the radar. That was fantastic.
You got yourself a stew going. I made something. I bought bag salad and pre-made chicken. Oh, good Lord, Mulek. Like you're goddamn Chef Ramsay.
Unbelievable.
Anyways, guys, thanks for tuning in today.
Yeah, that was it.
That's it. That's the show.
Tyler looked at me before the show. He's like, I think we'll just do 45 minutes today. And I said, good one. I was like, we're going to talk about nothing for the first 20 minutes, which we just did. So hour-long show coming up.
Do we recap at the end
A recap of the show?
of June?
I'll do it. Yeah, I don't want to waste anyone else's time.
Tyler Mulick, I cook hella good because I'm an adult. No. Like, what are we even talking about here? What Liam did is a good, that's an adult move. Adults do stuff like that, Mulick. Not all of us have 4 hours to cook dinner from scratch. Get real.
I like what Naeem said.
What is that?
This is why I always make excuses not to eat dinner at my Canadian friend's house growing up. Well, I'm English. So
I am about as Canadian as it gets when it comes to what I ate growing up. My favorite dish that my mom made, you ready for this? Just
pasta and ketchup.
No, just the pasta sauce was just melted cheese whiz. That's what I remember growing up.
Golly wally.
I mean, that's kind of what Katie is.
Yeah, it is. It is. But I don't know. That's whenever I go over for Sunday dinner, Mom was like, what do you want? I'm like, can you make pasta and cheese whiz? I don't want it. I'm kind of craving it. It's a weird part of my childhood that I hold near and dear. Anyways, yeah, Chef Tyler Mulick. Can we get Mulick? Can you change your profile picture? Give a chef hat on? That'd be good.
He said chicken and salad takes 25 minutes to make. I'll give you a clue. It takes about 30 seconds to make because you basically go bloop into a bowl. And then all of a sudden I'm eating while you're cooking. Now I'm off with my day. I don't have time to cook. All right, well, I forgot.
Okay, yeah. First off, you guys are all doing great in the
thank
Charm
you very
Diamond Center's
much.
YouTube chat. Shout out to our friends at Charm Diamond Centers, proudly Canadian owned and operated. Check out their large selection of Canadian lab grown diamonds, mine diamonds, and don't pay until 2025 with their instant in-store financing. OAC. It's home of the Propose. Find out more by going to charmdiamondcenters.com. Liam, we're 17 minutes in. Braden, I'm a chef. This has been painful to listen to instead of Oilers talk.
Fair enough.
Yeah, for
I'm
you
sure
specifically, this would really suck.
Non-chefs have probably thought the same.
Yeah.
All right. So where do you want to start? Do you want to start with
You want to do
the
lineup report?
lineup report?
Yeah, let's do a lineup
Okay.
report. It's brought to you by Service Credit Union and the Service Big Share Contest. It's back for a 6th year, and it's your shot at winning $1 million. And you're going, Tyler, how? How can I win $1 million? You can do it just by saving with Service. There are a bunch of different ways to get in, like saving in a daily bank account, saving in a TFSA or an RRSP. I'm a big RRSP guy, Liam. You already know that. Invest in a GIC. Help with your short and long-term goals and have a crack at $1 million. That's what you get with the Service Big Share Contest. Contest ends April 30th, 2024. Skill test required for rules. Visit service.ca/win. Christopher Palmer, you can get $8,000. I know a guy. Hey, think about how many entries if you get that $8,000 and then save it with Service. Lineup report. Tony Brar had the lines over on Twitter. Shout out to Tony. McDavid, Nuge, Hyman stays the same. McLeod, Draisaitl, Fogle stays the same. Henrique, Kane, Brown, hottest line in hockey, stays the same. Carrick, Janmark, Perry, stays the same. Right or wrong call going with the same forward line against the Avs?
Oh, yeah. I mean, right call. You got to start getting some chemistry here with everyone. I think mostly the third line is the one that has to kind of not get going, but, get a little bit of flow in their game. I would keep the lines the same pretty much the rest of the way unless something goes wrong. To be honest, just rotate your fourth line.
Yeah, I think every time you lose, a different fourth liner gets swapped out. That's the way I go for the rest of the year.
Yeah,
if it's broke, don't fix it. I mean, maybe if you win like 6 in a row, then it's like, oh shit, we got to get Derek Ryan in the lineup.
But I don't think they would do that. Remember like Adam Ernie when he was up here and they were winning? He just sat on the sidelines for 3 weeks.
But I think Derek Ryan's maybe a little bit different because you could see a world where he plays playoff games and you want to keep him
He's more valuable.
Yeah. So like, I honestly like every game you lose. Like if they lose against Colorado on Saturday, knock on wood, then next week when you play Montreal, Janmark, you're done. And then the next game you lose, boom, Carrick, you're gone. And you just keep going, keep rotating.
So I did I have an article, it might be out right now on Oilers Nation, called The Tape. And I went through and watched Connor Brown's shifts from the Washington game.
Oh, I like that.
That line needs to generate better chances for themselves. They're good at they don't really do a lot. It's very low event hockey,
which is terrible.
which is very good. And I think they're able to create more chances than what the old third line used to be of like Fogle, McLeod, and Holloway.
Yeah.
Ironically, 2 of those guys are now 2 of the best top 6 players for the Oilers. They just need to get things going. And Connor Brown's not as good of a skater as I thought he was. He brings a lot of energy, but I think him and Evander Kane are probably just as good as skaters as each other. Like, if you really watch,
when Kane wants to dial it up, he can dial it up.
Yes.
And I think Brown's almost in the same boat, but he doesn't have the same ceiling.
but Brown can't skate with the puck. Like, if
Interesting.
you watch, he doesn't skate very well with the puck. It's quite interesting.
I think
actually.
he's a little more erratic.
Yeah, maybe that's it. But Evander Kane, I think the last couple of games I've noticed this. When he gets moving, he's very good at getting around the defenseman and kind of getting the puck across to create chances. So I think the way this line's going to have some success is just by doing that. Use Evander Kane as your driver. And then if you're Henrique or Brown, just go to the net. You know?
Yeah.
I think that's the recipe for success for this team on that third line specifically. Sorry. Just go to the net. Let Evander Kane be the guy on that line. And the other two are very good at making defensive plays and getting the puck then to Kane. Brown made a great one as well when Kane kind of came down in the third period. He just hit, I think he skimmed the crossbar, just went over or something like that. So if you can kind of create stuff like that, then I think that line's going to be good, but they're not going to be any kind of skill.
Mulek says, would love to have our trade deadline players make more of an impact. I mean, what that comment is to me, like, Sam Carrick has been as advertised.
Got in a fight in his first game.
Fourth line player, not going to do a whole heck of a lot. Sure. Troy Stetcher had a bad first game, but it's his first game. I'm willing to cut him some slack. Henrique is a guy, I think it's fair to say you'd like to see a bit more from a guy you give up a first round pick for, but I'm not sounding alarm bells. I'm not sitting here being like, oh, the bad trade. I'm not sitting here saying he's never going to be a good Oiler. I just, again, like, the Oilers gave up, and I know they gave up more to get Matthias Ekholm in the mix, but I remember that first game of Ekholm's where it was like, holy shit, this guy is good. And I haven't quite seen that with Henrique. And I think with other potential deadline ads, maybe they would have been a bit flashier. And maybe that's just part of Henrique's game, is he's not going out there toe dragging anyone. He's not zinging a shot off the crossbar from the top of the circle. He's not making a great cross ice pass. He's here to give the Oilers a solid top 9 player. And to an extent, he's done that. He's been good defensively. He's been on the ice for a handful of goals for now. Like, all of that's good. But again, you did give up a first round pick to get him. So I'd like to see a couple more like, hey, he really pushed things in the right direction on that shift. He really made some impactful plays.
You know, that line had the most time on ice on 5-on-5 against Washington.
Really?
Henrique, Kane, and Brown, and they were outshot 5-1.
Well, that's not great.
And people say they want to see Sam Carrick having him outshot 5-1. The one shot they had went in.
Yeah, it was a goal.
Kane.
Connor
Brown. Sam Carrick's line with Corey Perry and Matthias Janmark played just shy of 7 minutes, 6:58. Outshot their opponents 7-1.
Yeah,
that's good.
And let me just also chime in here.
Goal against, so unfortunately.
Weren't exact, like, Henrique in that line got dominated at 5-on-5 on natural stat trick. You know who Adam Henrique's least common opponent was?
Least common
opponent, or the opponent he spent the least amount of time on the ice with? Ovi at 5-on-5.
So he played against Ovi the most
for only a minute and a half. No, the least of any player on the Caps. I worded that very poorly. My bad.
I was very confused. Who was the most then?
It was the Milano Lapierre Miroshnichenko line. That's the line that did the damage against him. Yeah, that goal didn't come when Henrique was on the ice, though, to be fair. So, yeah, I think it's fair to want more from Henrique in that third line, even though they scored.
I'm not concerned, no. At the end of the day, it's been 3 games, 4 games, whatever it's been. I think you just got to give him a bit of time here to settle in and get things flowing.
Yeah.
Like, how'd they do against Pittsburgh? They were shot 3-3.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Scotty91 is in as we continue the lineup report. Would rather see Stetcher get some more looks. We know what CC is, and it's meh. Was Stetcher's first game in 2 weeks on a new team in the playoff spot. He was probably rusty and nervous as hell. I think when we get to the final 10 games of the year, if the Oilers are locked into second in the division, I'm open to doing that.
Yeah.
For this next little run here of, call it 8 games they have 18 games left. For the next 8, it's best lineup every single night. You still have a chance to catch the Canucks. Outside chance, not a guarantee to happen. Not saying it is, but you still have to operate with top spot in the division, top spot in the conference is attainable for us.
Well, the thing is too, like, they're not locked into second in the
LA
by any
is 6
means.
points back, although you have a game in hand, but still a head-to-head game that'll
Still,
allow
yeah.
that to squeeze close.
Yeah, so I don't want the Oilers to take their foot off the gas, you
Yep.
know, so.
If you get to a point where there's 10 games left, you're 8 points up on the Kings,
Mhm.
and you're still 6 points back of Vancouver, then I'm all for being like, hey, in the last 10, Nurse is getting 2 days off, Cece's getting 2 games off, Ekholm's going to get a game off, and like everyone's going to rest a bit, and Troy Stetcher's playing the final 10.
Yeah.
I'm game for that. Or maybe like the final 6 of the final 10, and you have 4 games with your proper blue line. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how you exactly work it out, but just finding a way to rest some guys in the final 10, if you're locked in, I'm game. Right now, too early. You still have things to play for in terms of seeding.
Totally.
Stuart Skinner in the starters net at practice. I'll speak for both of us. Right call. You got to go with your guy in a big game against Colorado.
It's the only call.
Yeah, 100%.
Although Pickett revenge game might have been special.
Mm,
This is the first time they've played, right?
yes.
Yeah.
Colorado coming in on a 5-game winning streak. That is legit. And also, it's not like they're doing the Western road trip where they got a game tonight or whatever. Like they played the other night against the Vancouver Canucks, and now they've had a couple of nights off. So Colorado will come in rested. They're going to come in on a 5-game heater. They were down 3-rip to the Canucks and absolutely turned on the Jets and stormed back to win that game in overtime. And of course, the biggest storyline is the Hart Trophy watch. 2 of probably the final 3 when it comes to the Hart Trophy race, Connor McDavid and Nathan MacKinnon. I think Nathan MacKinnon probably deserves to be the front runner right now. I have a funny feeling it's too late in the year for McDavid to really start changing the minds of voters, but they are also in a race for the Art Ross Trophy in the scoring lead. Connor McDavid is 9 points back of Nathan MacKinnon, but Edmonton has 18 games to go. Colorado only has 15. So McDavid's going to get to play 3 more games than Nate Dogg down the stretch. What percentage chance do you give McDavid of catching MacKinnon?
80.
Really? You're that high?
I mean, I just don't want to doubt him.
That's
I
fair.
think he's more than capable of just having like 2 games in a row where he has 10 points, you know? Like
Yeah.
we saw it, right? Didn't he have 9 in 3 games or something like that at some point in the season? I'm sure he did, whenever that was. So yeah, I wouldn't put anything past Mr. McDavid. What would you give?
I think I'm maybe, like, again, not that I want to doubt McDavid. I'm not going to sit here and be like 10%, but I'd say like 45%. I think it's more likely than not, because I know we're sitting here being like, you know, McDavid can just go rattle off 3 more 3-point games, and he's right there with McKinnon.
McKinnon can do the same.
McKinnon can do the same. And McKinnon's shown he can do the same. And I think he's the guy who's probably motivated to win the scoring race, considering he's never done it before. So, like, he'll be hungry. And not that McDavid won't be, but the idea that he's just going up against some Joe on a heater is not exactly true. He's doing it against a fellow top 5, top 3 player in the league.
Last 10 games, MacKinnon has 9 goals and 14 assists.
That's really good.
Yeah, the last time he didn't have 2 points in a game was the last time they lost, which was March 2nd. Before that, it was February 22nd.
You know what?
McDavid's very
someone made a note about Skinner that I'll touch on in a second, but how about this? McDavid on home ice, 2.23 points per game. McDavid on the road this year actually sees his points per game drop all the way to 1.22. So we know the power play has been way better at home ice. That's a big part of it. Last change obviously has a major effect. And again, I'll just say McKinnon's the exact same. He's a 2.22 at home.
Yeah.
On the road, he's just a 1.26. So that's a matchup that, because this game's in Edmonton, really does favor the Edmonton Oilers. Mulick said the Oilers are good at home, and I think he was the one who dropped in the note about Stuart Skinner. Yeah, Stuart Skinner is much better on home ice than he is on the road. He's got a .910 save percentage at Rogers Place, and I know you're sitting there being like, oh, 910, that's like whatever. If you go from, I mean, let's pick December 1st onwards for our guy Stuart Skinner, that save percentage gets even more impressive. It's a .917 on home ice since December 1st. If you look at Stuart Skinner on the road in that stretch, I'm just pulling up the number right now. He's actually been very good on the road too. So he's just been good all around. But a .917 at home is solid.
That's all. Very good. And just
what does he have on the road?
.917.
The Colorado Avalanche have a 16-14-5 record on the road this season.
What was that?
16, 14, and 5 on the road for the Avalanche.
That's not a good road record.
Not that great.
That's under 500.
26, 6-0 at home.
And the Oilers, for comparison,
21, 8-2 at home, and then 19, 13-1 on the road. So their road record isn't pretty good, pretty respectable. Probably
yeah, when you compare it to the rest of the West, like there are some teams that have. Colorado is the main example of a team that's just been unbelievable at home and a bit more average on the road. How about Nashville? 20-10-3 on the road. Holy.
Are you turned around on Nashville yet? Will you admit that Nashville are better than you expected? Anticipated.
I still look at that team on paper, and I think over the course of a 7-game series, who's scoring their goals?
I totally get that.
Colby and I did this on DFO Live earlier in the week. They have their 3rd best goals for per game in franchise history right now.
Really?
It's still 14th in the NHL this year.
3rd best in franchise history. When was the best? Do you know?
06-07.
Wow.
I did my research for this. But like they still aren't scoring. And like in a playoff series, yeah, maybe you don't have to score all that much. And what the take I gave with Cold the other day was I've moved off of the take I had 5 weeks ago where I was like, it's a waste of 8 days. Nashville's getting in to get swept. Mm-hmm. They can push a team. I won't even say, I'll say it's a better than 15% chance they beat a team, better than 20% chance they beat a team, but it's not a 40% chance that they beat some team.
Okay. So I'm going to float something your way. I don't know if I fully believe it.
Okay.
But Nashville have more goals than LA and Winnipeg this season in a playoff spot. But you believe in Winnipeg because they have Hellebuck.
Yep.
Hellebuck obviously better than Saros, but does Saros not give you that belief as well that he can win a series for Nashville? Because you could ask the same question for them. They have 17 more goals. Granted, Winnipeg has 2 less games.
So. 2 less games. Added Monahan midway through the year. Added Toffoli at the deadline. They've been dealing with injuries as well. Shifley missed some time. Ehlers missed some time. I think the Jets, when healthy, have a way better offense. And I also think they have big game players. Like I know Forsberg's good and O'Reilly's had some success in the playoffs, though last year with Toronto maybe wasn't his best showing. But I think Winnipeg has big game players. I don't see that in Nashville outside of Yossi Saros.
I think they'll make it.
You think they'll win a round?
I think they could. I don't know. I wouldn't. I go
playoff ended today. They're playing Colorado.
I think I would go with your 45% chance. Seattle beat Colorado last year.
Playoffs
they didn't have the goaltending. It's interesting that it'd be flipped. I don't think I wouldn't put them as a favorite by any means. I don't think it's out of the question.
Someone said I really want Mini to pass Vegas. They're 4 points back.
Mini's winning.
Vegas has a game in hand, but they play each other twice.
Oh,
next Saturday and once in April.
That's why I'm intrigued by this Golden Knights run. Like they still have to play, and I know Seattle and probably out of it. That game the other day really screwed them.
Oh, can you imagine if Seattle would have held on?
Oh, I know. It would have been huge. They play Seattle still, St. Louis, Nashville, Minnesota, and Minnesota twice. So they have 5 games against those teams below them still. It's not crazy. And then they also play Vancouver twice, Edmonton, Tampa Bay, Winnipeg. Like they have a Colorado. They have a very difficult way to end the season.
Okay. The OJ in the Charm Diamond Center's YouTube chat. Winnipeg going to score 17 goals in 2 games, Tyler. Okay. You're missing my point entirely. I don't give a shit if Nashville finishes the year with more goals than Winnipeg. If you give me the Winnipeg forward group, 4 lines, scores on every line, a good defensive third line center in Lowry that can eat tough minutes. Give me that forward group versus the one that features Jason Zucker in a top 6 role. I'm going with the other one. Nashville, you can't say, sure, they've had some big games this year and they've scored, but like, we're really pretending Nashville's going to be able to score at a level that Winnipeg would? No, come on.
Tommy Novak, third line center.
Oh, I love Ovechkin. But who's their second line right now?
Second line is Beauvillier, Colton Sissons, and Jason Zucker.
They're running a second line that is 3 cap dumps, more or less.
3 cap dumps. No, they're not. They're a good team. They're good.
They're not cap dumps.
It's a hell of a line. A hell of a line in 2020.
They're good players, man.
Beauvillier's been cap dumped twice this year.
That one I'll give you.
Jason
Zucker's been cap dumped twice in the last 18 months.
They just couldn't trade him
because of his cap.
But now he's a second line player. I think not giving enough credit. Anyway.
So you're taking that second line over Ehlers, Monahan, Toffoli?
No, I'm not saying that. You said they were cap dumps.
Yeah.
They were second line players.
I hate the Preds. Preds
I
getting
can
swept.
tell. I can't wait till they knock off Colorado and go to the Western Conference Finals and shit.
Oilers Preds conference final. Sign me up.
Go Nashville.
Easiest 4 games the Oilers have ever won.
Oh my goodness. They really have lost to Nashville this season.
Fraud.
At home.
But that game doesn't count.
They were bad.
They're sleepy. I heard a rumor. Lance says I'm just making up percentages. I make up everything on the show, so yeah.
There you go.
There's our lineup report for Service Credit Union. God,
is that what that was?
gonna be a 45-minute show today, Liam. We've made it through block 1 of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of our 8 blocks that we have to get through today on the show. And it's been 35 minutes, 36 minutes. We need to tell everybody about the Robin Brownlee auction up at nationgear.ca. Week number 3 is coming to a close. Here is what we got. It's the day out at Sports 1440. You're gonna get to go to the studios out at the mall, meet the crew, Gregor, Carius and company, the Duke,
Low Tide,
the Duke,
Connor
Halley,
the Duke of Delta,
and you're gonna get 2 tickets to the game on March 21st. This one is at $400. Proceeds going to support the Robin Brownlee family. So it's going to a really good cause and one that's really important to us. So if you want to go to the 1440 studio, watch the show live, and then go to the game on March 21st as well, that's a fun little day, a fun little activity. Go bid now, nationgear.ca. Continuing along. Sherwood Ford Giant question. Let's keep the Nation Gear theme going. Shout out to our friends at Sherwood Ford, the Giant. We'll have some keys to victory in a little bit for Sherwood Power Sports and Marine as well. We need help deciding our playoff slogan here at Oilers Nation. We always have one. Last year it was Oil Up. We've done a bunch of different things. Keep in mind, copyright. So we can't be like, let's go Edmonton Oilers. That can't be the
that probably wouldn't fly.
No, we would get sued very quickly. But here are your 3 options these are our 3 finalists, and we want the people to decide. Option 1. I think this was a BM idea. Eat, pray, playoffs. Kind of makes sense. The reason I like it is because it shows that during the playoffs, everything's about the playoffs. You just eat, pray for wins, watch the playoffs. That's all you do.
That's what I'm picking up from that one.
Yeah. The next one, live, laugh, La Bamba. You like this one. This was your favorite.
It's the pick of the lot for me. Pick of the, what do you call it?
Litter.
Pick of the litter.
Finish the fight is number 3.
Not for me.
Mortal Kombat themed. Our guy Eric on the graphic design side, he had some ideas for this one. So there's your 3. Eat, pray, playoffs, live, laugh, La Bamba, finish the fight.
See, the reason I don't like finish the fight is because what does that have to do with the Edmonton Oilers? Like, if you take that shirt out of it could mean literally anything. Play, what was the second one?
Live, laugh, La Bamba.
Maybe it should be play, laugh, La Bamba.
But that wouldn't make.
But we're doing it's an alliteration.
Oh, is it
live, laugh, La Bamba?
It's our slogan.
Kind of
We
is.
can make it whatever we want.
I made a YouTube poll.
Okay.
Live, laugh, La Bamba's running.
I don't know.
Kyle, none of those. Well, Jesus Christ, man. Thanks for the input.
Yeah.
We're workshopping here. Give me an idea.
Yeah, we're just workshopping. If you have an idea, none are great. Okay.
Live, laugh, love. Is that what it is? Maybe it's different in England.
What is it in England?
I thought it was, I don't know. I clearly have no idea what I'm talking about.
It's like the weird slogans your mom has up around the house.
Yeah. Play, live, laugh, La Bamba.
Can we submit other ideas? Please do.
Yeah.
Lance says it's just cup year. I don't know about that one.
It's more of a cat
Here's
thing.
what we're going to do.
Cup or bust. That's been
So-
done so many times.
I
Like,
know,
that's the thing is like trying to come up with something unique here. We need to sell merch.
I know we have obviously have this poll going on right now.
No
But if
need
you
for
go to the-
LTIR.
If you go to the if you go to the Oilers Nation YouTube channel and you go to the community page, I'm going to put in there, give us your playoff t-shirt ideas.
Yeah, there you go.
And you can leave comments as you go.
It's not different in England. Keep calm and play La
Who said
Bamba.
that?
I don't hate that one.
I think that might. I think the
Keep
keep
calm
calm
and
thing
play
is
La Bamba.
copyrighted.
The chive.
Yeah, I think it's copyrighted.
So
I think
this
we're-
is for a playoff t-shirt, right? Should our
I do.
playoff?
I mean, we probably can't, but Goilers.
I did
say that
Oil
all
up
the
last
time.
year and got away with it. Goyle. I
be
think that's
Goilers.
one where. But see,
Yeah.
that's one where like If you get it, you get it. If you don't, you're like, what? Like a casual may not get it. Barn burner idea. Mission 24. Oh, golf. That's funny. Cup or bust makes it unique. What did Dry say about cup or bust? I didn't see Dry's comment.
Well, he said it at the start of the year, right?
No, I thought they were talking about the guy in our comments.
Oh,
yeah, you're right. Draisaitl did say it is cup or bust this year. End it in Edmonton. But then that has a bad look if we lose in Edmonton.
better than Nashville.
I'm in.
1 year, one beer. Oh, our year, our beer. One.
Our year, our beer.
What was the first one again? Sorry.
Eat, pray, playoffs.
That's why I keep getting mixed up. Eat, pray, play.
Live, laugh, La Bamba has 71% of the poll right now.
Vinny, Skinny, Wee Winnie. I think we'd get in trouble for that.
I love this.
One more 16-game heater.
Holy shit.
That's good.
That's good.
That's
Bring
good.
Kennedy home.
One more 16-game heater.
Once again, that's more of an OLE pre. Like you'd have to.
That's a pretty.
But damn it, that's good.
Just all we need is one more 16-game heater. I like that 16-game heater. Honestly, we might just drop that as an ON everyday merch.
Yeah,
I think you guys would buy that.
Okay, I put the poll out
like
too
that.
on the thing.
All
so
right.
if you have other thoughts, go and put them in there so we don't forget. I don't know. How about Edmonton Oilers 2024 playoff run from this date to this one?
Mulek just says 16 more. I like that too.
Mm-hmm.
We did have an idea, I think it was last year's playoffs or the year before, about selling a shirt, just like a nation shirt. And on the back, there's like 16 boxes. And as it goes through, you like X them out with a Sharpie. And then like it's got a little bit of like a memory behind it. It's like your playoff shirt from that year. You remember every X kind of thing. 16 more is
16 more. I like that.
the race is on.
Oh, that's a good one.
But like on is ON.
Do the ON logo.
I like that. I don't hate that. All right, good work, everybody. Thank you. That's very good. This hat's tight on me today, so that's why I keep taking it off. But
Kyle, check Google. Keep calm and play LeBron is legal.
All right.
Thanks, Google.
You're hired.
Yeah.
That's more research than any of us have ever done. Yeah, 16 more is cool. 16 more would be a really, really neat shirt. Our design team's going to love when we come at them with 4 new ideas. 16 more.
16 more.
I like because it's got some punch.
Yeah, it's 16 and it's short.
Yeah, like 16 more.
Yeah, that might work.
That's a good pre-playoff shirt. I like that one. All right, let's continue along. Couple more things I want to get to today. Let's get back into the game talk a little bit and get to our Sounds of the Oil segment presented by Snow Valley Aerial Park and the Rainbow Valley Campground. The Aerial Park opens May 31st, and you'll see Liam and I there at some point. We'll go. We'll do some climbing. Family fun all summer long. Also, Creekside Eats is open. It's a great spot to just spend a day in the spring or summer. Rainbow Valley Campground. This summer, take advantage of the over 60 camping sites and 3 comfort camping domes right in the heart of the city. It's Edmonton's only campground, and online bookings are opening soon. So head to rainbow-valley.com for more information.
The only campground. Wow.
That's what my
I did not know that.
Well, now you do. And now all our listeners know too. In Edmonton.
Is that the same ad read as yesterday?
I have different points I'm told to mix in.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I was going to say, did you say that yesterday? I didn't notice.
Yeah.
I was too locked in on the aerial park.
Chris Knobloch on playing the Colorado Avalanche this weekend, quote, like every team in the NHL, we prepare differently to who we're going to play. Every team has their strengths and weaknesses, and we'll try to prepare our team to face their strengths. As you mentioned before, their speed and skill is definitely among their best attributes, and we'll find a way to eliminate that from their play. So it sounds like the Oilers going to more of a let's shut down their stars first and then trust that our guys will take care of business when they get the opportunity.
Well, I'm specifically thinking about the LA Kings game in this scenario when we've played them a few times, because I think it's the most notable then. But they seem for the opening 10 minutes or so against the Kings, they really have low event hockey, and they just try and almost play the Kings at their own game. So I wonder if that's what they'll just try and do against Colorado as well, like top end players, but it's obviously a lot different because Colorado have some top speed. So set a tone early, I guess you could say. I think that's interesting. I don't know. I also like the idea of just going fire with fire. Just like the playoffs, right? When we played them, it was like, who can literally score the most goals, which is an extremely obvious statement. But when you're scoring 8 each a game, it's hard to lock down some of these guys. But I think where the Oilers match up very well, that second line isn't exactly a huge threat And I know
they're going to
maybe-
work hard, though, and they got some heavy boys.
That's true. But when you look at the Oilers lineup, I'm sure maybe people thinking about that as well. But there's no Leon Draisaitl outside of that top line.
No, there's not.
So I think the Oilers can capitalize on that. The third line is going to have some work with Ross Colton and Miles Wood, two guys who are capable of scoring goals. So then the Oilers can match up. I'm very confident now they'll win. Despite Colorado being on the win streak they are, I think the Oilers match up very well against them.
Caleb Jones listed as the fourth line winger. They might go 11-7 tomorrow night. This is their blue line. That leaves you a bit more concerned, though.
Yeah, this is where.
Taze McCarr, second best pairing in the league, however you want to call it. Girard and Manson, speedy, move the puck well. Manson's got some grit to him. Sean Walker, who, I mean, a lot of you I know believe is the best defenseman in the NHL, with Jack Johnson on the left side. I'm just screwing around a little bit. Sean Walker on the third pair is a damn nice luxury to have if you're the Colorado Avalanche. Like, Jack Johnson's a weak link, but the other five are just so damn good it doesn't even matter.
Kind of like the Oilers.
Their five are good.
I mean, they're obviously top pairings better than anything the Oilers would have.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think the Oilers blue line's that far away from it, right? Like, they have five very good defensemen and then Cody Ceci. I think that's better, but I don't think it's like, boy, oh boy, that blue line is night and day ahead of Edmonton.
Like, Aaron, can you flip back to the Avs blue line just really quick? Taves, better than Ekholm. McCarr, better than Bouch. Girard, Nurse is better than Girard.
Yes.
1,000%. Manson's better than Vinny. Miles.
Yes, for sure.
Walker's better than Ceci. Kulak's better than Johnson. Scores 4-2.
Yeah.
Okay.
But they're better.
Yeah, they're better.
They are better, but I don't think it's like it's one player away from being 50-50.
But just McCarr's such a game breaker, man. That's why I give him a bigger edge than a little bit.
It's hard to go 1-for-1, but Ekholm and Bouchard is an elite pairing.
It's very good, yeah.
Deane and Nurse are figuring things out, but we're seeing Nurse being able to play a bit more offense because of it. Vinny's got to figure out his puck moving still a little bit, being in that top four, but CC's the weak link. But Kulak, like, they obviously trust him enough. He played on the top pair Wednesday, sorry.
Lyle Chalmers, Manson's the third pair on most teams. No, Manson's legit. He's a legit top four guy.
Yeah, he's good. He's very good.
He's very good. All right, let's get to our keys to victory for Sherwood Ford the Giant and Sherwood Power Sports and Marine. Liam, how about this for a deal from our friends out at Sherwood Ford the Giant? You buy a Ford truck from Sherwood Ford, and you know what they do? They slip you like a little coupon. They say, hey, thanks for buying the truck. You head down the street to Sherwood Power Sports and Marine. You get something you can tow with that truck. You can save $500 on toys from their new friends at Sherwood Power Sports and Marine.
$500?
$500.
That's crazy.
You buy a truck from Sherwood Ford, they give you $500. You can spend it at Sherwood Power Sports and Marine on a boat, an ATV, a motorcycle, everything they got at Sherwood Power Sports and Marine. Quads, side-by-side, street and dirt bikes, electric bikes. You go buy yourself a nice new truck, and then you maybe buy a nice gift for someone like me. I'm in the market for an e-bike. I really want one. Or I want to buy myself one of those electric scooters. You know, like a Bird or a Lime. I want to buy myself one of those because I think I could just zip around St. Albert and get to so many places very quickly.
I have a group of buddies that there's like 6 of them, and they all own scooters in Sherwood Park, and you'll just see them ripping down Saturday night going to like local or Joey's. It's a
legit.
good group activity.
I love that.
Friends to get scooters.
Yeah. They've got boats, outdoor or outboard motors, trailers, and all the gear you'll need for your next outdoor adventure. It's all at Sherwood Power Sports and Marine. Key to victory. You want to see the Oilers fight fire with fire? You want to see a track meet tomorrow night on Hockey Night in Canada?
Sure do. I want 14 goals tomorrow.
I honestly might bet the adjusted over at like 9.5.
No, you will not. Really? 9.5.
Fucking watch me.
Look at that man's face. Right?
Crazy. I think it'll be like a 6-4 game or something like that.
Yep, that'd be over 9.5.
Oh, yeah, that would be. That son of a bitch. God damn it. God damn it.
Mulek says he wants a defensive battle, 2-0 Oilers.
I want to be entertained. I want a defensive battle in the Western Conference Finals.
Here's my key to victory. Depth scoring.
Yeah, that's going to be mine.
Get a goal or two from the bottom 6, and I think this Oilers team suddenly has a much better chance of winning. Their power play, dynamite on home ice.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Absolutely unbelievable.
I think one thing, too, that got overshadowed the other day is the Oilers basically got 4 lines of contribution. The 4th line didn't score, and I know they got scored
but they pushed play.
But it was a tough one. But they did very, very well overall to, have some opportunities. So that's going to be for me. You need 4 lines.
Because your power play is going to get you one. You know your top 6 is going to get you 1 or 2.
Yeah.
If you can get 1 or 2 from your bottom 6, you're winning this hockey game tomorrow night.
And I think too, like we were talking about the lack of depth. Lack of depth is the wrong word. But yeah, you know what lack of depth they have on like their second line, Colorado. It's made up for with a guy like Cale McCarr.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah, I think depth scoring is the key.
Let's talk a little bit more about what we want to wager on tomorrow evening for our friends at Betway. And how about this offer from Betway? You can get a free bet up to $200 if your first bet loses. Create a new account, scan this QR code that's on the screen. We're going to leave it up there for a second so you can get in on it and redeem your bonus. Place a bet, no minimum amount required. And if the bet loses, you will get a refund up to $200. You can use that money to go right back to betting on your favorite sports. This offer only available outside of Ontario. With Betway, you can get a free bet up to $200 if your first bet loses. So Liam, tomorrow night, you laughed at me, said, moron, why would you bet on over 9.5?
Instead of 9.5 score line.
Yeah, instead of score of 10 goals. But I think I'm going to go with an adjusted over. I think I'm going to go Connor McDavid 2 assists. He scored last game. He's back on the assist train tomorrow.
I bet he gets. I might go adjusted over 2.5 points from McDavid tomorrow.
Ooh,
Yeah, I think that'll be nice.
3-point night for Connor. I don't hate that at all.
Nice one. And also, I'm riding the Fogle on McLeod train. Those guys are like plus 400 to score.
One of them's going to do it.
Second line, like you just bet on one, bet on both, and one of them's going to get one.
I don't hate that either.
Yeah, I think it's a really good approach.
What do you think the line's going to be tomorrow? I think
the line. Oh, I bet the Oilers will be favorites by that minus 130.
Yeah, I think so because I think it's probably more of a coin flip matchup, but Canadian teams always get juiced up a little bit. Oilers at home juices them up a bit.
And also, we spoke about the records home and on the road. The Oilers have a really good home record.
Okay, they might be minus 145.
Yeah, maybe a little bit higher. Yeah, somewhere around there. Minus 160 to 130.
Somewhere in that. That's a big range. But we're not odds makers.
Nope.
That's why we let the experts handle it over at Betway 19+. Please play responsibly. Let's get to the menu for our friends at DoorDash. 25% off and 0 delivery fees on your first order of $15 or more. All you need to do is download the DoorDash app and enter the promo code NATION25. Restaurants, groceries, more delivered right to your door. Aaron didn't have a car for a week. Aaron had his groceries delivered via DoorDash.
You're damn right I did. Shout out DoorDash. I even double dashed. I got a snack and my groceries. It was fantastic.
That's actually so smart. Have dinner ready to eat and your groceries for the rest of the week. Elite stuff with DoorDash. New episode of Oilers Nation Radio dropping later on this afternoon. And then tomorrow, pre-gaming with Bordsy going live at 7 o'clock. Who's on postgame with you?
Waz.
It's a Waz night.
It's me, Brett, and Waz. So I think we're going to hang out here at the studio.
Oh, hell yeah.
Do it, little that, and then probably go for some beers after. See you, Greta.
Yeah. Greta, your pre and post game spot. I think I might be making an appearance at Greta this weekend. I like to just maybe wander in, have one beer, the Greta Blonde Lager, cruise to the back, see what the high score is on the football game, walk away for a bit, stew on it, go through some plays in my head. Do you guys see that video of the little kid dominating or throwing for all the 50s in that game?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That got sent to me 12 times in the matter of 8 hours.
Anybody send it to you, Liam?
I got tagged
by me,
by Tyler, and I watched it.
Yeah, I called the whatever he was, 5 years old. I called him he's just all armed. He doesn't actually understand the game. He had no strategy. Like it's unsustainable to just go up and lob 50s. So he's got learning to do.
Josh Allen, all he does is throw 50s, 50 yards, and then picked off.
Aaron Donald's just retired, hey?
Yeah, Liam and I were laughing at his scouting report on NFL.com the year of his draft. It was like his frame will never fill out, and they projected him to be backup or special teams.
He was a 13th overall pick.
And it was so dumb.
Like,
Scouts are so dumb. It's not
like this guy was just some 7th round bum that got drafted. What else have we got today?
Nuge lover, you have to do green beer for St. Patty's Day. St. Patty's Day is a weird one for me to wrap my head around, if I'm being honest.
Tell that to the Englishman.
What does Greta have going on for St. Patty's Day? Shout out to our friends at Greta again.
Green beer, that's for sure.
Yeah, they probably will. I'm going to load up their Instagram.
I know it's my favorite manager. He's moving to Toronto.
Oh, I know. I'm going to miss him.
Sending away. It's going away party tomorrow with Greta.
Oh, man, that thing's going to be absolutely rocking then. Yeah, Taylor and Cade's going away party.
Yep.
Sunday, March 17th. Featuring 550 drinks. So there you go. There's your St. Patty's Day deal.
So St. Patrick's Day is when?
Sunday.
Shout out Patrick Huff.
Yep.
The bowling guy at our company.
The bowl.
Ooh, yeah. Pat's got that big bowling game coming up tonight. What? It's his league semis. Best of luck to Patrick Puff. on St. Patrick's Day weekend
Yeah.
with his bowling league.
May the luck of the Irish be
That's a
with you.
lock.
Luck of the Irish.
Do you mind if I dive into the IMAX theater
Oh, yeah.
quickly? Do you have anything else?
If we do, but you can go.
No, you tell your thing.
Everyone
It's
go
not
tweet
important.
Pat and say good luck in your bowling semis. Wendy's Daily Face-Off Survivor Pool is the last thing I needed to plug.
I'm out.
349 Nuggets this weekend.
What are the
It's-
things today?
You basically can't afford to not eat at Wendy's right now.
Left.
Shout out to Wendy's and the Daily
Ooh,
Face-Off Survivor Pool.
and here you go. If you want the final hurdle, you can bet on the Oilers to beat the Avalanche tomorrow.
Bang,
Right.
bang, lock, double lock, triple
Yeah.
lock.
That was a good one.
There you go. Wendy's again, 349 Nuggets, and today's your last chance to win the Nuggie, the blanket hooded style
Oh yeah,
chicken nugget from Wendy's. Do we have it?
No,
Maybe. Who knows?
the blanket.
Either way, head to at Wendy's Canada on TikTok at 349 Eastern. Get it? Because 349 Nuggets is the deal right now at Wendy's. Nuggets are an elite side piece to a meal. I go Baconator. I usually steal a couple of my girlfriend's fries, and then boom, 349 Nuggets on the side. That's a good meal. You're living good. And Wendy's has elite nuggets. 349 for a limited time. Get them on the Wendy's app. Do we have the Nuggie?
Yep, it's coming.
Oh, it's coming. Aaron's just
One
working.
second.
Well, you keep nodding your head, and I'm like, it's ready.
Boom.
There you go. You can win this bad boy with a pouch on the front for your nuggets and snacks. Head to Wendy's Canada on TikTok at 349 Eastern, 149 Mountain Time. It's 349 Eastern because of the deal on nuggets.
There you go.
Shout out to Wendy's. Okay, Dune.
Okay, so I watched Dune yesterday. I went to West End. I went to the IMAX theater.
Mhm.
Good movie. 4 out of 5. You can follow me on Letterboxd and see my review.
You have a letterbox count?
Yeah, I do. So anyway, I've never been to an IMAX theater before. Have you ever been? I don't know why I'm asking. I know
Which one did
haven't.
you go to?
West End.
It's a long drive for you, but continue.
Have you been?
No.
Holy moly. I have never, ever, ever had an experience where I was sat in a theater for almost 3 hours and felt like the most uncomfortable person in the entire world.
Why?
Those seats are awful.
Oh.
So you go like it reclines, right? Like the seats recline, but this one, like, it reclines so far back that you're literally like sat there like this watching a movie.
Kind of like how you feel during our show.
Yeah, but you're like just so slouched and your angle is so weird, and it's just like, holy moly! And I got up from my seat. I literally couldn't get comfortable the entire movie, and I got to a point with two of my friends, and my one friend said to me, "He's like, my hair, I'm gonna have to stretch when I get home." It was awful. It was absolutely awful. So I'm curious, like, do people also, is this something other people have experienced? Because I love going to the cinema, see movies all the time. And I go to the one in Sherwood Park or the Landmark on 17th Street, and the seats are perfect. But for some reason, this one was so weird, and there was no option not to like recline. You had to sit there.
You can lock your seat in.
I was like, what does that say?
Same thing.
Oh, yeah. It was brutal. It's brutal. I couldn't believe it.
Reagan says Wem is awful.
Is there another IMAX theater in Edmonton?
Tells World of
This-
Science. Aiden says has amazing seats.
Okay, I think it's on a Windermere is a VIP theater, which is legit too, but also incredibly expensive. right?
Yeah.
So
But what isn't nowadays?
you're telling
Shrinkflation.
me. But it was brutal. I couldn't believe it. The experience of IMAX is supposed to be like the pitch is great and the sound, and you feel
Was it?
all that. The pitch was fine, yeah, the little overrated, but the sound was cool, especially for a movie like Dune. It was pretty good. But the movie Dune itself, the cast is unbelievable.
Was it good?
Yeah, the cast is good. The movie's good. I don't know how many they're gonna make. Apparently, there's $10 or something like that. So there you go. Dune, 4 out of 5. Movie of the year.
And no popcorn bucket.
No, they didn't have one. But they have Yoda and Batman in West End Theater. I don't know if you guys have noticed that before.
No.
Just kind of hanging from the ceiling.
Why'd they do that to him?
Well, Yoda's doing it with the Force.
Is Zendaya in it?
Zendaya, Rebecca Ferguson, Timothy Chalamet. I've never really seen his movies besides Dune. And he was really, really
Yeah,
good.
he's great.
And Austin Butler is in it, who is obviously Elvis. And he is the villain. And this isn't really a spoiler, but like, obviously the protagonist and the antagonist fight at the end. Shocker, I know.
You know that Lil Yachty Drake meme? Like, oh.
But the only thing I could think about was how Austin Butler recently played Elvis and Timothy Chalamet was Willy Wonka. So I just said like a little image in my head of Elvis and Willy Wonka going one-on-one. But yeah, great movie. I'm excited for what.
Who would win in that fight?
Don't give a spoiler. Don't do
Who
it.
would win in the fight? The protagonist or antagonist?
No, Willy Wonka versus Elvis.
Oh,
Wonka.
probably Wonka. He's got magic power.
Elvis gets a guitar. No, Wonka doesn't have powers.
Wonka has an army of Oompa Loompas.
Interesting. Interesting.
Well, Elvis
Hard-hitting
was
stuff
mad
here at
at
Yeah,
him.
Oilersnation
yeah.
Everyday.
Yeah, great cast. Florence Pugh, Christopher Walken. Is that his name?
Yeah.
Crazy. Oscar Isaac. They killed off Oscar Isaac and Jason Momoa in the first one. Just that's how good this cast is. But anyway,
Rendered.
I think that's good. I know you love movie talk, Tyler. so-
Was today's show terrible or good?
They liked it.
It was nowhere in the
I-
middle. I can promise you that.
I think it was good after the week we've had.
Boring.
One
We had a
Oilers
boring
game.
One Oilers game.
No Frank.
Yeah.
Nobody wanted to come on the show as a guest.
Maynard Nugent. Yeah, we struck out on every guest
Everyone.
we texted this week. It was bad. I don't know why people don't like us.
I couldn't see why.
Watch this show. Tyler, how many Oompa Loompas could you 1v1? They're strong. This isn't like the argument of how many third graders could you fight. Because I could beat the hell out of them. Not finishing that quote for legal reasons. All right. It's 101. We should probably wrap this up. More culinary talk makes me feel good about myself. Okay. The bits were fast and furious this week. Okay. All the grandparents sleeping together from Maynard Nugent Spivey is just weird. It is. That one, the grandpa, I know this is like a common internet joke, but like massive piece of shit. You can't get off your ass and get a job, but the second Charlie's got a ticket, you're like up and out of bed, your polio's cured or whatever happened to him.
Oh yeah.
Joke.
I
Joke.
don't really like the Wonka movies, like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, whatever they're called.
Yeah. Garbage.
Kind of lame.
Mm-hmm. All right. Enjoy the game tomorrow, everybody. Pre-gaming with Board Z starts at 7 o'clock right here on the Oilers Nation YouTube channel. So look forward to that and a premiere of this week's episode of Oilers Nation Radio. Have a good week. We're back Monday, noon Mountain Time, and we will chat with you then.
Thank you for watching Oilers Nation Every Day. Hit the subscribe button to never miss a show. And for more, visit OilersNation.com.